get to the money. Gotta get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. So you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and me. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. And gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and they. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money.
Welcome to another episode of Drinking After Dark, a podcast where we discuss random topics while having a few drinks. I'm your host, Darius, and as always, drink responsibly. And y'all make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe to Drinking After Dark Podcast YouTube channel. Tonight, I have a very special guest with me. I've known this person for a very long time, practically grew up together. She's a mother, wife, author, all around great talent. Give a huge welcome to Chasity Snow, aka C Monet. What's going on?
Hello. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad that you're here, man. Like I said, it took a long time for us to get together to do this, but it finally happened, and this is gonna be a great episode. Definitely a great episode. Before we get started, let the people know what you're drinking on tonight.
I'm drinking on water tonight. I'm drinking very responsibly tonight. I'm drinking on water. I wish I was drinking on something else, but I'm just nervous. I'm nervous because I've got this ear infection going on, and I'm like, maybe I should take a shot of whiskey to see if it'll clear it up. Whiskey cures everything, but I'm drinking on water. Unfortunately, I am drinking extremely responsibly tonight.
Well, while she's drinking on water, I'm drinking on Crown Vanilla mixed with Dr. Pepper cream soda. Yeah, that's what I'm on. I'm on this Crown Vanilla right here, and I'm mixing it with this Dr. Pepper cream soda. So
that's definitely good. I've had that combination.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who had that combination.
Yes, I've had that combination. Very good.
So before we go any further, man, I gotta give a huge shout out to my sponsor, Joe Shakinab and Shakinab.com. Go visit Shakinab.com for services, monthly updates, and contact information. Once again, visit Shakinab.com, promoting leadership and scholarship. So Chassie, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let the people know a little bit about yourself and some of the things you have going on.
Okay. I'm Chasity Snow, but in the literary world, I go by C Monet. I'm an author of about 36 books. I'm working on getting them all back republished under myself. I'm a romance author. I'm a plant mom. I'm a plant mom. I am also a mother of two. I've got two almost teenagers. I've got a 14-year-old. I've got a 12-year-old. I also coach women that are looking to become authors, also looking to get into entrepreneurship. So I do a lot behind the scenes, I guess. Not all out with it, but I do enjoy writing. I've been doing it for about 4 years, give or take. I've been running my own business as far as coaching for about 2. So that's pretty much what I'm into.
And excuse me. And the romance novels, you say you have 36?
Yep. I've published about 36 books to date. I was recently signed with the publisher. I'm now on my own, so I'm working on getting all those books I had under my publisher back uploaded onto Amazon and things like that. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now while I'm not writing anything new.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Do you remember the very first novel that you ever wrote? Do you ever remember that?
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny because back in 4th grade, like one of my cousin and one of our friends, we actually wrote this short story in 4th grade, and I completely forgot about it until they bring it up. But as far as my first novel, I I'll never forget it. It's one that I'll never forget. So yes, I definitely remember it.
What was it about?
It was about my previous marriage, how things ended. It's a fiction novel. However, it's very, very loosely based on my own life, migrating, old relationships, new relationships, but it's about a girl going through divorce, looking to kind of start over, dealing with, a messy divorce, a messy marriage previously, and just rebuilding herself. The title of the book was Did You Think I'd Crumble? So it's just mainly about, a woman rebuilding herself after divorce, after drama, after, infidelity and things like that.
Oh, so you saying the woman was cheating?
No, not the woman. Nope,
Okay.
not the woman. Nope.
I was about to say, you better clarify that up.
Nope,
Say infidelity.
Well, no, there was a lot of infidelity when it came to, the male role in the book. And again, just her overcoming, that, because infidelity, although it's cheating, it doesn't always feel like it'll carry on with you forever, but it does. It's always something underlying, when you're healing with, from somebody cheating on you or being dishonest or, just a bad marriage, period. It's a lot of healing that goes into that.
When it comes to like writing that and infidelity, was there like a part like some deep down inside you want to just put like you killed that man, you buried that man in the backyard, set it on fire, something like that? Or was just like, or was it just like?
For me, I think when I wrote the book, I wanted to finally give a voice to a situation that I hadn't given a voice to, right? Like I didn't, I was never one of those people that's bashing anybody on Facebook, never really talking about it. Every time somebody saw me, I wasn't like, girl, let me tell you, so, and, and a part of me didn't really want to embarrass him, although he didn't, necessarily care that much about embarrassing me. So for me, writing the book and ending it the way I wanted it to end it, he did die. there was definitely death. But again, it's fiction based. He is still very much alive. But for me, it was more or less, symbolizing death to a situation that, even though I had probably been divorced about 5 or 6 years at that point, that situation was dead at that point. The healing part, because I tell people all the time when they ask me, how do you manage in a divorce? And I tell people the first 5 years after a divorce are normally the hardest because you've got so much to unpack. You've got so much that, you kind of feel like you have something to prove to people. So you're doing a lot of things that you're just being molded and shaped and, again, pruning, cutting, and, it's just like a phoenix rising from the ashes. So it was more or less a symbolism of death to that situation, no longer, reaching back on it, no longer thinking about it, no longer harboring on what had happened, just completely being healed.
Yeah. While you was talking, I was thinking to myself, I wish my wife would divorce me for some debt. I'm like, listen, I don't want nothing messy. I'll be like, look, whatever you want, you can have it. I'm not that type of person that's going to spend all this money to fight with you in the courtroom over something as small as, listen, if you want the house, cool. Maybe we'll just argue about the custody of our child. But other than that,
it wasn't messy in that aspect because there wasn't it can get messy. Like if I was rich or he was rich, yeah, definitely would get messy. But, it wasn't messy as far as that goes. It was just messy. It's just messy, period. Because even when you're tired of a person or you don't want to deal with that person anymore, it's still, divorce still feels like a failure. Even when, everybody's spent, you're done, nobody wants to hang, it still feels like, God, why couldn't this work? Or why couldn't I make this work? So I say messy in regards to just, it's a messy process, because you can go in there ready one day and leave out and you're like, wait, I don't know if I want to go through all of this. Like, it's a messy process. Even when there's nothing to fight about, it's still just like a uneasy feeling sometimes.
Yeah, when I look at the divorces, and we're gonna get back to your books in a minute, but when I look at divorces, I don't look at it as much of a failure as much of as I think of it about a lesson learned to
Yeah,
me.
definitely.
So, I don't believe in failures. Only time I believe in the failures that you fall down, you don't want to get back up. That to me is a failure. So, if you learn from it, you move on, and you can actually live your life. That's not a failure. I mean, it's experience. Experience is the greatest teacher of all. And I got married. When I got married almost 7 years ago, I said, "This is it. I'm not. I'm not doing any more marriage. Once I'm done with, if this was to stop, I don't know. I'm gonna go back to what I was before I met you. So, I love my wife. I'm in this for the forever.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going through that process and never. Because I remember my mother going through that process and all that stuff. So I'm like, I'm not going through that shit.
Yeah.
Not so ever.
But you shouldn't go into it with the mindset that it'll end, right? Every day should be everybody putting in 100%. And, and then when that doesn't happen, yeah, you listen, you got to do what you have to do. But no, you definitely don't go into it. And honestly, had I not gone through what I went through, I don't know who I'd be today. I don't know if I'd, been an author. I don't know any of it. So I don't look at it like, as a failure. It didn't work. No harm, no foul. Move on. We live and we learn. And you realize that it's okay to put yourself first at all times, even when you feel like this is the right thing to do for someone else. Do what's right for you. Those are the lessons that I take every day and still hold near and dear to my heart.
Yeah. By the end of the day, get married for the right reasons.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say.
Sure.
Don't let it be a business transaction because, at times businesses tend to fail.
Yeah.
So just get married for the right reasons. And if it don't work out, then you know what? Don't look at it as a failure. I mean, maybe it just wasn't meant for you to get married, but doesn't mean you can't get married later on. So, that's just my 2 cents of everything. But let's get back to your books, everything. What made you decide to write romance novels?
So, well, one, I'm a hopeless romantic. I love love. I love love. Honestly, I love love. But when I first started writing, I didn't really know what lane I wanted to go in, and I'm very clear about all Black authors are not urban authors, right? Not saying that I didn't grow up in an urban area, because I did. However, some of the aspects of being street lit or urban, they just don't fall in line with what I know. And I just can't imagine having to go and actually ask somebody what's gang life like to write it. You know what I mean? So I write what I know. And I love. And then it came to a very pivotal point when it came to Black women and how we view love, and how we're moving from a performative type of love, right? Where we don't feel like we should have to perform to receive it, right? We shouldn't have to struggle to receive it, right? We shouldn't have to fight for it. You know what I mean? Not saying that you shouldn't fight for your significant other if that's what you choose to do, but fighting to be loved and to be valued, you just shouldn't have to do it. You know what I mean? If somebody loves you, they will do that for you. So for me, we were at a really pivotal point as far as what I saw, as far as with Black women and what I saw in the literary world. Honestly, we were all just kind of moving to this Black love, wanting to focus on Black women being loved properly. So for me, romance it came easy. I can, I tell all my clients, some of my clients I have never really been in love. Well, you don't have to have ever been in love to write about somebody being in love. What do you wish what do you envision yourself as far as being in love? Like, what does that look like for you? What does that feel like for you? That's what you write, because the whole point of writing is to, one, be a true speaker, as well as, giving somebody hope. So because I had, again, gone through about 5 or 6 years, just not really focusing on me, dating, not really getting anywhere with anybody. And then I got remarried, right? I got remarried. I, met a great guy very quickly. We got married very quickly. So I wanted to write about, being loved properly again, and it being, I tell people all the time, I feel like I must have broke a mirror and got 7 years of bad luck, because literally at the 7-year mark, I met my husband. So, and then all my bad luck went away, right, in relationships. So I decided to write romance because I love it. And again, I want, whether it's a Black woman or a white woman or a Black man, or, I want us to be shown in the light of, again, not having to deal with struggle love, or even Black men not knowing how to properly love. I write what I want to see, even if that's not completely what's happening every day. I write what I want to see. I write what I want to feel, and I write what I want others to feel.
Yeah, that's I was sitting there, I was just amazed at your story, talking about love and everything, because everybody wants to be loved, right? But they always say true love is hard to find. So it's like when you think that this is love and it's showing you this is not, and you're like, dang, what am I doing? Am I happy here? Do I need to go? Listen, there's somebody out there for you. You just gotta be patient. You gotta be patient, and you have to be ready to receive it when it happens. Because a lot of times they're so focused on themselves that when that comes into their life, they're like, I don't want it right now. And all of a sudden they're single, trying to find that person when that person came into your life years ago and they moved on to somebody else. So, I'm with you in terms of finding love, being happy with yourself first and foremost, in order for you to be happy with somebody else. So I'm just sitting here listening, and if I was a single guy, I would come to you, but I'm not. I'm married, so but I agree with everything that you said. So listen, you're going places. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're going places, and I could be the one to say, hey, listen, she was on this platform and I had her here, so if she ever goes somewhere, I'm like, me, Drinking After Dark podcast. This is, but when it comes to your novels and everything like that, is there like a series where it's a continuation from one novel to another?
I do have some that are series. I do. When I first started out, I was writing a lot of series because I found myself being very, very long-winded. I'm not anymore. So now I do write standalones where once you open the book and once you finish it, that's the end of the story. However, I do carry over characters, because every character has something about them. Like one of my characters, Rex, he was really good at hacking and computers. And so, whenever, I got a book and, the male needs to find the woman that ran off on him, right? Because she just got scared or something. Rex would be the one I'd call on to hack her phone to find it. So I do have, carryover characters, but I have 2 series which end up totaling 4 books. I have another series that I didn't intend for it to be a series, but people loved it so much that they didn't want it to end. So I ended up writing another book for it. It was just supposed to be a girl just on her honeymoon that didn't happen, right? Because the marriage, she ended up not getting married. So she just takes the trip, with some of her friends, and she meets this guy. That was literally what it was supposed to be, like a week fling on vacation. But everybody's like, no, we want to know, just do they end up staying together? Does he, so I ended up writing another book for that. And then I did write a 3-part, this is called the Love Under Management series. I did write a 3-part series for that, but each book is a standalone based on each friend. So they can all be read separately.
Okay, so it's kind of like your own little universe. Like,
I have my own little area. I have my own town that I've created, own place. Because I mean, I've written about Clarksville, Nashville, places like that I am comfortable with and that I know. But we're limited sometimes, especially here in Clarksville, because we don't have the hottest club, the 3-story club. Like we don't have any of that. So I created my own place. It's called Coopville. I created my own place that I put characters into, and I can build it up to whatever I want it to be built up to. However, it still kind of mirrors a hometown feel a little bit of Clarksville and Nashville. I can just give it different things.
okay. And what do you like? What do you see the future in terms of your books and everything? Do you see like a mini movie, a mini series? Do you see, what do you in your mind? What would you like to see
I would
happen?
definitely, on the level one would definitely be it being in, your actual bookstores, right? I have it, I have a few in a bookstore in Wisconsin. Because I have the lady that I work with, her husband is actually the author as well in Wisconsin. He has a brick and mortar. So definitely that. And then I think maybe I would like to see my first book as an actual, just a mini movie, nothing major. Honestly, when I first got into it, and still to this day, like I don't know what I really wanted other than I wanted something that was mine. Um, I didn't start writing until I was about 30 years old, and and that simply came from feeling like, okay, I've been a bus driver before. I've worked at train, I've done all these things before, and I never really loved any of it. So I really wanted to kind of find something that was mine and that I was passionate about and that I loved to do. And it just so happened to be writing. So even if nothing happens as far as movie wise, I've done what I came to do. Now, even though I'm still writing a little bit, now my focus is on allowing and helping and assisting other women that kind of want to tell their story, whether it be fiction, nonfiction, whatever. Because I think there's a story in all of us. Even if you can't write it, there's a story in all of us. There's something, that's just, again, there's different mediums to do it, right? You do podcasting, right? That's your way to, get stories out there, kind of be a part of this creative, industry. So I feel like if nothing happens with them outside of, publishing them and saying that a little girl from the Clarksville, Tennessee, published, 30 something books, I've done what I came to do.
Yeah, definitely. If you're looking for a story, I got one for you.
Yeah, there's a story in everybody, whether it be, childhood, even if it's just a mystical story that you dream about, there's just a reoccurring dream. Like everybody has a story within them.
Oh, I'll tell you my story. It was Sail. I'm telling that right now.
You can write it.
I'm not writing. I need somebody to write it. I don't want to do all of that. If I write it, I'll tell you, I'm gonna be angry as hell writing this thing. It might go left real quick.
But it happens. Writing is a form of therapy. When I was writing my first series, I had to stop a lot because, again, although a lot of it, is based on fiction, a lot of it was real that I put in there because I needed to get it out. I just needed to. If I get it out, I'm done with it. So it's definitely a form of therapy.
Who were some of your influences? Like, what's some of the authors that you grew up, you was reading and all of that? Who were some of your influences?
I love Toni Morrison. Definitely. Oh God, what is her name? I can't think of it. I just like right. Her first name is right at the tip of my tongue. She wrote Wade into Excel, basically.
I know. Shoot, Terry McMillan, ain't it?
Yes, Terry McMillan. So her, one of the first books that I actually really, really, really enjoyed, and it wasn't even a fiction novel, but it was A Piece of Cake by Cupcake Brown. I really enjoyed that one. And then I really got into the True to the Game series and stuff like that. Well, my brother was locked up, so he wanted those books. So I would read them first before sending them to him. So those, but there's a lot of heavy hitters that are not, that are indie, if you will, because most of the people I just named, they're from a big publishing house. But there's a lot of authors that are indie that really inspired me to do it. Nako being, one of the people. She's actually the one who kind of got me into a position of wanting even and think I was able to even write a story. Be Love, Love Belvin. There's so many, but I've always just been a reader. Always. And my mom was too. So there would be some times where she'd give me a book, and A Day Late and a Dollar Short, before it even became a movie, I had already read the book, to the point where watching the movie wasn't my favorite. But yes.
Yeah. I told my wife I was when it came to books growing up, I wasn't a real big book reader. I was more like sports section, newspaper, magazines. Elementary school was all about Goosebumps for me, so I would, that I would kill somebody to get the new Goosebump movie. That like me a Goosebump book. So that was my lane.
Definitely at the book fair, getting all the books I could get. I've always loved reading, and I honestly did not see me being an author myself. I could not have honestly thought about it. It's so crazy because I just didn't.
Sometimes, you don't see anything unless you get into it, so.
Yeah. And other people really saw something in me, because I had started to blog, and that's really how I got my start, was blogging, just, blogging on being the natural. My husband's white. So, we were just now, kind of getting into that a little bit. And it was just, it was just so many different experiences. So I started blogging about stuff like that, my kids growing up. And one of my good friends, she was like, "You had a book in your belly." I was like, "Girl, no, I don't. I'm a reader. I don't write books." But one night I was laying in the bed. I was trying to go to sleep, but it takes me forever to get to sleep. So, but all these like visions and stuff just started like kind of floating in my head. I was like, wait a minute. So I got up and I wrote the first chapter or two by hand, because I didn't even have a computer at the house. And this was back in 2017. I didn't even have a computer at my house. So I had to get to work that next day and type up the first 2 chapters that I had written. And here we are.
You said you and your husband got married pretty quickly, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How long were you two together before y'all got married?
We met January 1st on New Year's Day. And we got married March 10th of that year. So I give or take about 3 months. Yeah. Very quickly. And we've been 7 years.
Oh man, y'all got married around the same time me and my wife got married. Well, will it be 7 years? And it'll be 7 years next month, actually. Yeah.
We just had our 7-year March 10th. So that quick, yes. Very quickly, 3 months.
How'd you two meet?
We met at the lodge. We were at the club. Neither one of us wanted to be there. Let me put that out there. Neither one of us wanted to be there. But because I was willing to be on babysitting duty for my homegirl. I was like, I'll keep the kids. She's like, no, you kept the kids last night. Because that was New Year's Eve. She's like, you kept the kids New Year's Eve. She's like, we're getting out tonight, all of us. I'll get a babysitter for the kids. So I ended up going out, and we ended up bumping into each other pretty much. I'm on the dance floor, kind of off to the side a little bit, where the pool tables used to be, and all my lodge folks know what I'm talking about. Where the pool tables used to be on the side. I've been drinking heavily because it's New Year's, right? It's New Year's.
Right.
It's New Year's. And I'm a local here. So I'm got, people buying me drinks, people buying my homegirl drinks, people, buying both of us drinks. So I'm pretty toasted when I meet him, but we bump into each other, and, I accused him of being light skinned, and come to find out he was white. I did. I was like, are you light skinned? I couldn't really see. It was dark in the lodge. And he was like, no, I'm not dark skinned. So we, kind of just talked for a little bit. We exchanged numbers, and here we are. So I met him at the club.
I missed the lodge myself, to be honest. So,
and oh my God, the lodge was such a good time.
Man, me and my best friend, we used to roll Thursday nights, Sunday nights, Friday nights.
Listen, if the lodge was open, we was in it. That's we were in it. We loved it. I loved the lodge. And so, yeah, that's how we met. And again, we just started kind of talking. We didn't hang out really at first because, again, I was a single parent at the time. I just didn't really have the time. And I let him know, like, listen, I work 15, 16-hour days sometimes. Like, I'm trying to date, trying to be a single parent, also trying to work because these bills got to be paid. So, but when I did make time for him, we were inseparable, honestly, still to this day.
That's what's up, man. I took a little bit more time myself because, me, I'm a type of guy. I'm like, all right, usually my relationships don't last past 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a type of person like, all right, I see what's what. I only had, prior before my wife, I was only in a relationship. The longest relationship I had was a year. So that was senior high school, sometime after that. But when I got to college, when I transferred back home to Austin Peay, where I finished up, that's where I met my wife.
Okay.
So it was kind of like, what was it? Blessing in a sense, because one of my social science classes didn't transfer, which I thought that was still some bullshit because I met the requirements, and you tell me because y'all don't have this class at y'all school, I got to pay more money to take another social science class. I said, yeah, that's our requirements here. I'm like, all right, what can I take in the middle of my business classes? Psychology. That's the only one I could take. So I'm like, all right, I take psychology. Honestly, did I learn anything in there? No. But the professor was real cool and everything. But when I seen this girl walk into class, I was like, I've seen her before. I knew of her. I'm thinking that, she was way younger than what she actually was at the time. And I was like, oh, I need to know her, get to know her. And we met, and pretty much rest is history. So she actually found me on Facebook.
Wow.
That's what happened, because I didn't know who the hell this was. I'm like, all right, I could click on and see who this is. And if I don't like what I see, I could just move on from it. And I saw like, oh, that's the girl in my class. Okay. I see who that is now. But
let me ask you, what was it that worked in this relationship for you that didn't work in the other one? Or are you supposed to be asking questions, or I'm only supposed to be answering?
No, that's no, you can ask me. Shoot. Listen, on my podcast, you can ask me anything that you want.
I want to know, because you said, previously you hadn't really had, any long relationship. What was the difference?
Okay, I can tell you this. You remember me playing ball growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball was my first love.
Okay.
So pretty much, if you were my girlfriend at the time, you were second to that sport. So I really didn't take the relationship serious until about my senior year. And, and we got together. I can't really tell you on camera how we got together, but we got together, and, it was like, I found out on a Monday I'm in a relationship. So, but we were together for like a year, which shocked me. But that was my very first true serious relationship. I think at that time, a senior, I'm about to graduate. I know I'm playing ball. I know this is like, I don't have to look forward to next year because I'm done with it. So I could really focus on a relationship if I really want to. But also at the same time, I got to think, the next step for me, if it's going to be Clarksville or wherever. And that next step for me was St. Louis. So, but we broke up by the time before we even left, before I even left for St. Louis. But, I was able to really put more focus into it in my relationship, more so than, anything else. Cause like I said, 3 months tops, and with all the attention I was getting back then, I knew it was going to be a problem. So it was just like, you know what, 3 months, you think you're going to compete with all these other females? Go ahead. But I'm saying you're not in competition with nobody except for what I do on this court.
Right.
No, I would leave. My problem was if I got a phone call and said, we hooping over here, I would get up, leave, and go hoop. That was my issue. Yeah, that was my issue. And at some point, the moment I got burnt out from playing ball, after I played my very last high school game, even though I had offers in college, I couldn't do it anymore because mentally I was done. Mm-hmm. So I could really just focus on myself, focus on my education. And if I meet somebody along the way, I could focus on them too. So it was just pretty much just being committed and being focused on that relationship. So when my wife met me, luckily she met me when I was a little older than what I was back then. Because you would have. I told her this too. I said you wouldn't have not liked me because you would come second to what I did on the basketball court, and honestly, you might be third, fourth, fifth with every female who try to come close to me. So you might not be the only one. But also too, when it comes to a relationship, if I'm in that relationship, I'm in that relationship. So I wasn't going to do anything outside that relationship. I just knew 3 months, that's pretty much like the max. And I kind of knew it was going to go our separate ways because, like I said, I'm always playing ball. It was 365, whether it was school, AAU during the summer, mixed with school ball too. It was so much going on. I was always out of town. It was hard for us to have quality time together. Mm-hmm. So that was another reason too. But like I said, when I told you I could write a book, well, get you to write it for me, and I told you I got some stuff that I could share with you, you'll be like, wow. I'm like, yep. And trust me, it's maybe, well, no, I was a teenager then. Listen.
What would you title it?
Do what?
What would you title it? What would be the title of the book?
Dang. That's a good question. Deception.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ask any more questions outside of that. I think I got it.
There's so many different layers to that. And I'm telling you right now, you won't even believe it.
I believe it. I do. I believe it.
I will let you take notes and I'll let you write it. And I guarantee you it's gonna go #1 New York's best-selling list. I'm telling you right now. Because here's the funny thing. I'm an open book. I'm 34 years now. I'm 34 years old right now. Look, I don't lie. I can't lie anymore. It's over for me. Don't ask me questions you don't want to know the answer to, because I would tell you, if you say you like my hair, I'll tell you no. If you say you like these shoes, I'll tell you no or yes, depending on how I feel that day. If you say, do I like this dress? I'm like, you need to return it. Don't ask me questions that you don't want to know. But if you also ask me questions about my past, I would be so honest with you. You'd be like, I didn't know that. I'm like, yeah, because I don't tell anybody this stuff. But I also had an outlet too. That's one thing people don't have is an outlet. So when you hold so much inside, it could cause, some health problems and all that stuff, along the way. But basketball was also my outlet.
Yeah.
Not only do I want to, kill this person on the court, but, it's just a way to get away from the real world. So when I'm in those 4 lines, I don't hear nothing that's going on in the stands and nothing. I'm so locked in to where I could just let it loose and give it everything I have. When I walk off the court, I just move on to the next day. So That's just me, but I could definitely tell you, the stuff after we get done with this podcast, and you're gonna write it down. And I guarantee you're gonna have a story on your hands.
Okay.
Real talk. And when I read it, I read it with my wife. I said, babe, does this sound familiar? It's gonna be like, what is that? How can I just? It'll be like the movie The Best Man, right?
Mm.
Harper wrote this book.
Yeah, tell all
not,
book.
Yeah, not thinking that just because you change the characters, you trying to change their little profession, that they're not gonna figure out who you're talking about.
People know. People don't forget.
Yeah. So, yeah, dummy. But that's what it'll be, something like that. But it's not gonna be like, it's not me with the problem. I'm the victim.
Okay. All right. We gonna see.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna see.
So describe your childhood growing up. Like, how was it?
Good. I mean, it was so different from how kids grow up now. I mean, I grew up on 9th Street. That's where my grandmother lives still to this day. Grew up on 9th Street, grew up on that side of town, Hayden Drive, went to Burt, Cobb. You know what I mean? Like, I had a really good childhood. And my mom was good. I'm the middle baby. So that is a little weird, having to be the responsible one, right? Because, the oldest, they normally just out of it. And then the youngest, they're the baby. So I was the middle. I was the only girl. I don't know. I had a good childhood. We had as far as family wise, we didn't have a big immediate family, but we had, a large extended family, the Mosleys, the Jenkins, we had all of those people. High school was great. Middle school, good. I could honestly say I had a very good childhood. I remember vividly, having good times and remembering Clay Smith. Like, our kids don't have any of that shit no more. NYSP, A-Star, like we were lit. Our generation was lit. We just don't have that anymore for the kids. But as far as childhood, no, I had a good childhood. I, again, still remember thriving and just still being, very much who I am now in a sense, like very responsible, just a lover, nice to people, good-hearted, hardworking.
Yeah, I remember all those programs. I really didn't get a chance to participate in those programs because I was gone. So, everybody, there's summer vacation, they could stay at home and just be lazy. Not me. I gotta go to practice. I gotta go out of town for practices, games. I'm like, y'all realize how lucky y'all have it at this point. Christmas come around, I gotta go out of town.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, hey, like you said, ball is life and was life.
Yeah, it's.
And everybody needs an outlet, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
ball was amazing.
Yeah, it was fun growing up. How long have we known each other? Like, how long? It's been elementary?
I feel like elementary, maybe. It has to be.
Because we were young.
It has to be. Like, yeah. I mean, and so many people in the town that we just go so far back. Like, it's hard to even remember like where, because if it wasn't one place, it was multiple places. Like we were all everywhere. Like all of us were literally all everywhere at the same time. Like there's not very many of us that don't know each other, like in some form or fashion.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. And growing up, to me, I had a strong structure growing up, single parent household, 3 brothers, we all have our different personalities in a sense, but it was like I said, we had a strong foundation and everything like that. My family's, some still in Greenwood, some all over the city, whatever. But it was great. The days being outside. That's the only thing I can remember. Just being outside, not being in the house. Kids are all about technology today. Yeah, they are. Kids today are all about technology. Yeah. I couldn't wait to get outside.
Yeah.
Right. Because you could be outside for, I don't care how hot it was. You could be outside for hours and hours and hours.
You find a tree to sit under. Like our kids are just growing up definitely in a different age.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I was around 13, that's when I met my sister for the first time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I met my brother on my dad's side for the first time.
Yeah. Let me see. Here's the funny thing about this. My sister grew up on the other side of town from me.
Me and my brother on my dad's side, we knew each other before we knew each other. We went to church together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I think we were going to 5th grade when it finally came out that we were brother and sister, which we've known each other all our lives in church. I mean, we have a picture together. I think we may have both got baptized on the same day back then. Like we have and nobody said anything until we were like on our way to 5th grade. It was crazy.
Man, that is crazy though. Because I knew of my sister. I heard about her, never met her. I'm thinking she's out of state somewhere. Probably never meet her. Oh no, she just on the other side of town. Mm-hmm. Really, Dad. This is what this is about. I mean, we're teenagers. I could have ran into my sister, wouldn't even know it. Mm-hmm. You got to introduce us. I mean, shoot, she started liking boys. I'm liking girls. You got to introduce us.
Exactly.
But we met, and ever since then, we all close. You know what I mean? So, but I'm still the big brother when it's all said and done. Even though she's older than us, I'm the one they call on when they need something. So, but hey, when you're responsible, being responsible is a good thing, but sometimes it could be a bad thing.
It is definitely a gift and a curse, for sure.
Sometimes I'm like, I ain't trying to be responsible today.
Yeah, it's definitely a gift and a curse, for sure.
I just want to take a break, just like a 24-hour break, just to see what it's like not to be responsible. You know what I mean? Just make the wrong decision or something like that. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing, this drink is great. I'm loving it. I'm only having this one cup, but I love it. I gotta go get me another bottle though, eventually.
Oh yeah, you looking like you're a little depleted.
Yeah. And it took me a long time to find this because they ain't have it in the stores at one point. So, but I only do it for the podcast, and I might end up going to get another one. I might, because I think I'm gonna kill it this weekend. Who knows? Oh man, this is fun right here. I'm really happy that I get a chance to talk to you and everything like that, and the books. Matter of fact, this is another thing I wanted to ask you about the books real quick. How much of it is it like you already knew about your real life situation? How much of it was fantasy, like something that you're just in your mind? And you're like, I'm gonna incorporate some fantasies or something into. Like, how much is that?
So, which is very odd because I don't do fantasy. Like, I'm not a big fantasy reader. I like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, stuff like that. But I did write one book that was like a shapeshifter. But that is me on a late night binge of Jessica Jones and thinking like, damn, we need a Black girl that can like jump vertically. Like, that we need a Black girl superhero, but she's also not your typical, she's like rough around the edges a little bit, and she's a private investigator. So I did one novel like that, but it does have romance in it. But most of my books, they're not all my situations. They're, again, just ideas and things that come up. Like, I'm inspired by everything. Like, there's not much I can't turn into a book. I even, there's this one episode of Seinfeld, and Elaine is like hired this like phone call alarm clock system, like where they call you in the morning to wake you up. And I thought, oh my God, most women love Good Morning Beautiful text. Like, now I know, we don't like Grand Rising. That's the shit we don't like, or just random Good Morning Beautiful. But, for the most part, even if you're not, say for instance, if you are with someone, it doesn't have to say Good Morning Beautiful, but you like being the first thing somebody thinks about, right? Like, we get everybody like, okay, dang, you just finished brushing your teeth and I'm on your mind. Like, that's big shit. So I wrote a story about, this group of guys that, had met and were friends in college, and they ran a voice calling service. They, had women subscribe, and, these deep baritone voices would call and wake them up in the morning. And one of the guys that owns it, he ended up falling in love with one of the callers. So I can pull inspiration from anywhere, probably.
Okay, cool. Because I'm a write a book. Well, I'm not gonna write a book. You're gonna write the book.
You keep
Somebody found love on Mars, so that's what we're gonna write about.
See, and that's the thing. Like I don't mind like building a world, but like the mystics of it, I just, and I have a lot of friends that are really good at writing fantasy, and I, really love that they can do that, because everybody cannot come up with, just all these moving pieces, because while, characters and stuff like that, I just want to focus on the storyline. And with fantasy, there's a lot of moving parts with that storyline. So we're gonna have to come back down to earth if you want this book written, because I don't know nothing
back down to earth.
I don't know nothing about Mars.
You ain't gotta know nothing about Mars. It's a planet. That's all thing we need to know. We are. It seemed like people trying to get to Mars for whatever reason, but you can find love anywhere. It could be on Earth, it could be on Mars, it could be on planet Krypton, for all I care.
Enjoy themselves.
Oh man, what type of music you like to listen to?
I'm an old school R&B type of girl, but there's not one genre I probably can't find a song that I love from. Like,
okay, so what's like your favorite old school song? Like, let's just say R&B.
Probably High Hopes by the SOS Band.
Okay, what about rap?
My favorite rap song is probably gonna be favorite rap song. Are we talking old school or just like favorite in general?
It could be favorite in general.
Crush on You by Lil' Kim.
I had a feeling he was going to pick a Lil' Kim record. I just had
power and respect. Or your typical Jay-Z. I'm a big Jay-Z fan. I love music, period. Like country music, I can listen to country music. Like, I love it all.
What do you think about that new style of country music that's out now, where they infuse like hip hop and country into one?
I think it's been about time that it happened. I mean, we technically created country music, so we should have always been a part of it.
Yeah, who was it? Willie Jones, one guy that I just really got put on. I didn't even know he was on was it American Idol, or was it America's Got Talent? Okay. Yeah, he's the one that went viral I guess he was 17 at the time, but he has this single that's out Down by the Riverside, which is like, I love it.
I love country music. And I mean, like I said, we started it and it's been time for us to be able to get back into that. But again, to me, music is music. If I can vibe to it, I'm gonna listen to it. I don't limit myself to one genre of music because I love it all.
I tell you this now. One guy, I'm gonna talk about two different guys real quick. The first guy, I absolutely do love. Listen to his songs. He just a great. I mean, when you talking about talent, I mean, he's on a whole different level. I don't care what genre of music you listen to, but in terms of talent, this guy's on a whole different level. Chris Stapleton, I just think he's just truly amazing. Of course, you had Tennessee Whiskey that blew up everywhere, but some of the other songs that he had, oh my goodness, it's like you could feel like he's a soul singer by trait. Forget the country genre, which they put him in the country genre because I guess the undertones is country, but it's more like, to me, like that blues soul type of.
Definitely soul.
And another guy, again, I'm going back to this new genre, that this fusion. This is a rapper named Jamie Wright. Jamie Wright is he's a rapper that raps on like these country hip hop type of beats, but he's a country boy, like straight up country boy. Like you would find his song on the country Vivo channel, whatever. I seen the video. I'm like, yo, what is this? This is he did one at Magic City. I'm like, what the world is this?
Yeah, I may have to look him up.
Yeah, look him up. You gonna he got a song called Cowboy Gangster.
I feel like my husband may have listened to him before.
I guarantee your husband has listened to him before. Because I heard it by accident. I don't know how it came about. I guess I was on YouTube and I clicked on it. I saw the little thumbnail on it. I was like, what is this? I clicked on it. I was like, what the hell am I listening to? And the sad part about it was it sounded better than today's new rap. So I'm like, yo, what? I mean, he got the grill, the diamond grill, got the platinum diamond chains on,
I have a very good feeling that I've either seen this guy before or heard his song before, but I'm gonna have to look it up just to double check.
And it's a lot of them too. Like I just went down the list. I don't even know who their names are. A lot of these guys are just like straight up content creators. And I was like, yo, this is where they're behind this genre at. It's kind of like country music. I saw this thing on Netflix where it was talking about, different artists and different genres and things like that. I forgot the name of the series, but they were talking about how country music, they never wanted to go mainstream. Mm-hmm. They wanted to keep it, pretty much underground and to their demographics pretty much. But Dolly Parton was the one that was trying to make it go mainstream, which eventually she succeeded in doing that. But now you start seeing all these other country artists, now they're like, okay, we can go mainstream because they see the money into it. They know they can reach more people. Now you start seeing these country folks, like the rappers who's from the Deep South. Like Willie Jones is from Louisiana. So when you hear it, you can hear Louisiana in a song. Jamie Ray, I think he's from Florida, if I'm mistaken. He might be, I think he's from Florida. But you can hear it. You could tell, the culture he come from. You can hear it, and of course, you got some of those. First off, I don't understand country music, period. Some of them, I know the names. I don't know the songs. Like I know Dolly Parton's 9 to 5. I know that. I know Garth Brooks. Matter of fact, I don't even know none of his songs. I know who Garth Brooks is. I know Blake Shelton. I know who else? Don't tell me. There's a lot more. Oh shoot.
Oh, there's tons more.
It's a ton. Growing up, it was Garth Brooks. The one song I hated was Billy Ray Cyrus, My Achy Breaky Heart. I hated that song.
Classic.
I hated that song with a passion. They played that song so damn much. I said,
Yeah, they do play it out. They definitely play it out. But country music, I enjoy it. I enjoy the story. I just enjoy it. I don't know. I just enjoy it. I love me some country music. I always have. Like I've had Shania Twain CDs over and over.
That's who I was thinking.
Over and over and over.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
I hate that I missed her last tour because I wanted to be in the building, honey.
Well, you know, I'll feel out of place being at a show like that. My wife trying to drag me to a show like that, like, babe, I think I'm out of place here. Look how they dress.
You just gotta put some boots on.
And the funny thing is, I'll tell you where I work at, but you know, I work at a Western, somewhat of a Western store. It's like a Western work store.
Okay.
You know, so I do their social media and all that stuff there. So, but yeah, like I that's why I know about country so much now because I've been hearing it consistently over the last 8 months. But yeah, it's very authentic, and you feel like they're coming from a place like you said, like the story. Like when you hear about this dude driving on his tractor down a dirt road, he was actually doing that.
Exactly.
So, as a matter of fact, I heard that song because Ludacris was actually on that record. So I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Like you talking about going down the dirt road. Okay.
He has a song with a country artist. Well, Dirk has a song with Morgan Wallen. Like it's very much becoming I think K. Michelle is even thinking about doing a country album. Monica's thinking about doing a country album.
They shouldn't do it.
You know.
They don't have it in them. You got to be for real country.
I think K. Michelle does. I feel like K. Michelle does. Monica, I don't know. K. Michelle, I feel like K. Michelle could knock it out the park. She's got that soulful storytelling part of herself too. So I think she would definitely make me proud when it came to doing a country track.
Yeah, it's really coming. It's country now is starting to finally get the notoriety that they've been trying to keep on the low for such a long time. Like, you know, I know generations going to argue, be like, that's not real country music and all that. Just like with any genre, right? Like that's not real hip hop, that's not real R&B, stuff like that. But times are changing, and you got to put something new out there.
Yeah,
you got to have a new sound. You got to, because nobody wants to hear the whole same old country song for like the last 50 years. Nobody wants to hear that, so I'm all for it. And would I ever go to a country concert? No, I probably wouldn't. But I'll take that back. If it was Garth Brooks, I'll probably go see it because I heard he's an entertainer. So when he puts on a show, he puts on a show for real. So I will go check that out if I decided that's what I'm gonna do. Expand my horizon some.
Sure.
I'm not trying to stick to hip hop and R&B and stuff like that. Maybe I'll go to a rock concert. Who knows? Yeah. I might fight somebody because they like to.
Oh Lord.
They like to get crazy in there, but that's my I don't mind doing it. Live life, shoot. You can't eat burgers every day. Sometimes you need to go to a 5-star restaurant, try something new.
That part.
So I'm all about that. Even though my wife really trying to take me far and beyond that point, but
I think wives just do that. We just do that. We just want to expose everybody to everything because limiting yourself is no fun at all.
It could be fun. I'm happy.
Okay. You could be happier.
That sounds greedy to me.
Okay. All right.
I'll tell you what, that's what I'll do. I'll do that if my wife gets on a roller coaster. Now, I'm gonna expand her horizons now.
Has she offered anything to potentially kill you? That's what I want to know.
Say what?
Has she offered to take you anywhere that will potentially kill you? Because I don't think they're two in the same. But
hold up. First off, it's the thrill. I like the thrill of it all.
Okay.
Now certain things I won't get on. I'm not stupid, but I'll get on if a roller coaster I see like I could do that roller coaster, but not that one. I'm that person. I'm not going far and beyond. You ain't gonna see me. You're not gonna see me skydiving from a plane. That's not happening.
Okay.
Bungee jumping, all of that. No.
Well, you gotta stay safe. Gotta stay safe.
Yeah.
Definitely stay safe.
Definitely. Well, we coming to the end of the show right now. This was fun and everything like that. Usually I like to give my guests the last word. So Chasity, whatever you want to say. Also let people know where they can find you at on social media too, if they ever want to get in contact with you. But the floor is yours.
All right. So my last words are stop playing safe. Don't settle for safe. Go after whatever it is you're looking to go after. Find your passion, love on it, cultivate it, stay true to it. You can find me on Instagram at Author Coach Chasity. On Facebook, I'm Chasity M. Snow. On Twitter, I'm Reckless Love Pusher. And I have a website, is www.recklessbrandonva.com. And that's who I am. Thanks for having me.
Definitely. I really appreciate you coming on. Once again, follow Drinking After Dark Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Drinking After Dark Podcast YouTube channel. If you want to advertise on Drinking After Dark Podcast, send a message on Facebook or Instagram, and I'll get back to you with details. This was a pleasure. We got to do this again. I got some in the works that I think you will be perfect for it. So, this was fun to talk to an old friend, and I wish you nothing but success and everything, and everything that you have going on. Please, y'all go support Chasity and everything that she has. If you have not picked up a novel, I think you should just go ahead, pick it up, read it. Maybe she might inspire you to write something. Who knows? But go support her. If not, tell your friends and family about her. Let's go ahead and build each other up, man. Because this is all about. This is what this platform is all about, to give others an opportunity to really grow. And if you can support people that you don't know, go and support the people you do know as well. So once again, Chasity, I thank you for coming on. This is Darius from Drinking After Dark Podcast. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.
Gotta get to the money. Gotta get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and eggs. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. And gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and eggs. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money.